Hi everyone, thanks for being here. So let's get started in Samastitihi. You can bring the big toes together with the heels slightly apart or separate the feet if you need more of that wide stability today. And then you can lift the toes, spread the balls of the feet as you place the feet back down and shift the weight back into the heels. And that brings in awareness into the backside of the body. As you root down through the feet, you reach up through the crown of the head while keeping the back body spreading wide. At the same time as you're keeping the heart open and lifting. Good. Settle into the breath. Notice the breath moving in and out through the nostrils. We'll bring the palms to heart center for the opening mantra. Inhale. Vande Gurunam Charanaravinda Sandarshita Swatma Sukhavabode Nishreyase Jangalikaya Mane Samsara Hala Hala Mohashantye Abahu Purushakaram Shankachakrasidharinam Sahasra Shirasam Shwetam Pranamami Patanjalim. Good. Exhale. Bring the arms to your side. And we'll start with Surya Namaskara A. Inhale. Reach the arms up as you shift the weight into the heels. Exhale. Up and over with a long spine. Take this first one nice and easy. Inhale. Half lift. Hands to the floor or the shin. As you lengthen, exhale. Palms flat. Back into a plank. If you'd like, you can lower down. Maybe staying up on this first one. Inhale, lift the heart, point the toes into cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale into downward facing dog. We'll be here for a few breaths. Establishing the breath for the entire practice. The Ujjayi breathing in and out through the nose with the tone in the vocal cords. So making the action in the throat as if you were whispering. As you match the length of the inhales to the length of the exhales. Good. Relaxing the neck. Gazing up along the thighs. One more breath. Fully exhaling, and at the bottom of the exhale, bend the knees, drop the tailbone, gaze forward, step or jump into half lift. Lengthen the spine. Exhale as you fold, drawing the lower belly in. Inhale, strong legs, press the feet, reach the arms over your head. Exhale, float the arms back down as you reach up through the crown of the head. Good. Again, just like that. Inhale, deep breath in, press down as you reach up. Exhale as you fold, long spine on the way down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Bend the elbows, option to lower the knees. Keep the heart open. Inhale, point the toes, lift the heart, press down through the shoulders. Exhale into downward facing dog. Or child's pose. You could always take child's pose. Settling into the breath. Deep, steady breaths. Keep that lift just above the pubic bone. As you allow the expansion of the inhales to move all around the rib cage. Steady breathing. One more. Fully exhaling at the bottom. Bend the knees, gaze forward, step or jump, half lift as you inhale. Exhale as you fold. Draw the lower belly and pull the torso in. Inhale, come to stand, press down, reach up through the pinkies. Exhale, Samastitihi. Good. Again, inhale, arms over your head so that the head is behind the arms, gazing at the thumbs. Exhale, up and over as you fold, fully exhaling. Inhale, half lift, draw the lower belly in. Exhale, step or jump back, tone the lower belly as you bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog, strong legs, reach back through the toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Settling. Spreading the fingers wide, pressing through the base of the pointer finger and the base of the thumb as you press the hands down and forward, and you wrap the shoulder blades around towards the front of the body to spread the upper back. Keep the neck relaxed, and as you keep pressing through the hands, reach back and up through the sit bones. Bend the knees if you need to. One more breath here. Keep the lift of Uddiyana Bandha at the bottom of the exhale. Prepare to jump or step forward. Inhale, top of the mat into half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come to stand. Reaching up. Exhale, float the arms back down. Good. Let's go into Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, up and over as you fold, moving with the breath. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Slowly bend. Inhale, upward facing dog. Press the shoulders, reach the toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, turn the left foot. Exhale, right foot forward. Inhale, rising up into Virabhadrasana. Exhale, frame the right foot. Inhale, step back into a high plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Turn the right foot. Inhale, exhale, left foot forward. Inhale, press through the feet to rise up. Keep bending into the left knee. Exhale, come back down. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, lower down. You could always lower the knees. Inhale, lift the heart. Reach back through the toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, settling. Staying with the breath. Settling the mind on the breath as it moves in and out, up and down. Expanding the body, contracting the body. Listening to the sound of the breath. One more. Good. At the bottom of your next exhale, prepare. Inhale, step or jump. Half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, bend the knees, reach the arms up. Exhale, Samastitihi. We'll do Surya Namaskar B one more time. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale. Exhale, up and over as you fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back without rushing. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot forward. Inhale, come up. Feel free to take those extra breaths if you need to. Exhale here too. Come back down, step back and bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Turn the right foot, left foot forward. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, Move through your chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog or child's pose. Good. Feel the body, the mind start to get energy moving through it. One more breath. Fully exhale. Prepare. Inhale. Top the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees. Reach the arms. Exhale, Samasthiti. Good. Bring the feet hip width distance. Hands to your hips. Inhale, press through the feet as you lift the heart. Exhale, lengthen the spine as you fold. Bend the knees if you need to and catch the big toes. Inhale again, press the feet down. As you lengthen the spine, reach the heart forward. Exhale, fold into Padangusthasana as you keep lengthening the spine. And then finally softening the spine, the neck. As you gently reach the crown of the head towards the floor, you can point the elbows to the side and reach them away from each other. Allow the spine to release. Fully exhale, empty of breath. Rise up as you inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale, coming up. Exhale into Samasthiti. Good. Utthita Trikonasana. Inhale, step the right foot back. Exhale, pivot the right toes. Reach through the right arm and move into the posture. Placing your hand wherever it works for you, the shin, the big toe, or a block. Pressing the feet down and away from each other. Feel that length through the spine in both directions. Back through the tailbone, reaching through the left heel, and forward out through the crown of the head. Expanding all around the rib cage. Rolling the shoulders away from the ears, maybe gazing up. One more breath. Keep the legs strong. Fully exhale. At the bottom of the exhale, rise up. Inhale. Pivot the feet. Exhale, moving to the left side. Good. Moving out in all directions. The feet pressing down and away from each other. The arms moving away from each other. And the spine reaching in both directions. And feel the sensations of this posture through the sensations of the breath. Deep, steady breaths. Beautiful. One more. Fully exhale, empty of breath, rising up. And let's go straight into Parsvakonasana. So widen the stance as you turn the right toes out and the left toes in. Exhale, bend into the right knee. Bring the forearm to the thigh or the hand to the floor as you bring the left arm over your head. Good. Pressing the feet down, keep bending into the right knee. Good. Maybe spinning the heart towards the ceiling. But if that means that the back needs to back bend, then you're going too far. Keep the lower belly drawn in. Good. Keep bending into the right knee and pressing through the outside edge of the left foot. Fully exhale. And rising up. Exhale, pivot, other side. Extended side angle. So feel that length through the side of the body by pressing through the feet and gently spiraling the torso, the heart up towards the ceiling. Taking breaths, deep breaths into the side of the body. Bend a little bit more into the left knee for one more breath. Inhale, coming up. Parsvakonasana B, exhale, pivot around, face the back of the mat. You can keep the back heel down, or you can lift the heel, or you can lower the knee. Inhale, reach the left arm up. Exhale, round the spine as you move into the twist. Left elbow comes to the right thigh. Bring the hands to prayer. Or you can slide so that the shoulder comes to the outside of the knee. And the left hand to the floor. And now in this case, the arm is over the head. Again, the back heel can be lifted, can be lowered. So when the back heel is lowered and the foot's at 45 degrees, that deepens the twist. Find a steady breath. One more deep breath in. And as you exhale, gaze down. Inhale, rising out of it with control. Good. Exhale, pivot to the front. And then one more inhale to prepare. Exhale as you flex the spine and move into the twist. Whatever version of this pose is appropriate for you today. Where can you soften? Where can you engage to allow the breath to continue moving? Breathing into the back, into the side of the body that's available. One more breath. And as you exhale, gaze down. Inhale, opening to the side. Reach the elbows away from each other as you squeeze the heels towards each other. Exhale into Samasthiti. Good. Prasarita Padottanasana. Inhale, step the right foot back. Hands to your hips. Exhale, fold forward, hands to the mat. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold forward, crown of the head towards the mat. You can bend the knees here if you need to. You can play around with the stance, giving the spine more space by narrowing the stance, or bringing the head closer to the floor by widening the stance. And you don't want to be too wide or too narrow. You want to feel like you still have that strength in the legs to press down and support the posture. Good. One more breath. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale, coming up. Exhale. Let's jump to seat. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, interlace the fingers or grab onto a strap or a towel. Inhale, straighten the arms as much as it's comfortable. Exhale, with that gentle tension, fold forward and move the hands away from the hips. Keep the legs strong and use the breath. Stay with the breath. Allow the breath to move you in and soften, to make space to go deeper if that's appropriate in this moment. Relaxing the neck. You can even bring the chin towards the chest. One more full breath. Fully exhale. Inhale, rising up. Release the hands. Exhale, squeeze the heels. back into Samastitihi. Good. All right, one more standing pose, Parsvottanasana. Bring the hands into reverse prayer. You can bring the palms together. I like to bring my fists together. Step the right foot back. Face the back of the mat. Inhale, press through the feet as you lift the heart for a mini back bend. Exhale, keep that length, that opening as you fold forward and press firmly down through both feet. Clipping the right hip back. Keep pressing through the outside edge of the left foot and soften all along the spine, soften the neck. But keep reaching the heart towards the right toes. Good. And if you feel like you're collapsing around the collarbones, you can think about lifting the elbows. Good. One more breath. Inhale, rising up. Pivot around. Lift the heart. You can take an extra breath here. Exhale, fold forward as you reach the heart forward. Press through both feet and softening the back to fold. See if you can feel that connection between pressing through the feet and lifting the arches and lifting Uddiyana Bandha just above the pubic bone. One more breath. Fully exhale, rising up, inhale, release the hands, squeeze the heels, exhale to Samastitihi. Okay, starting to warm up a little bit. I'm going to take off my sweater. Give you a little break, quick break. All right, find your breath. Fully exhale. Inhale, arms over your head. Exhale, up and over as you fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Lift the heart, reach the toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump the feet forward into a squat. Or we're going to do Pushasana. You can sit on your ankles. So this is kind of a fun variation, especially if the squat is like really difficult for you to balance in because of whatever reason, for example, like tight Achilles or tight ankles. So it's going to be the same process, whether you're in a squat or you're here. So first we'll do it twice on both sides, because then each time we can maybe go a little bit deeper. So first, moving over to the left side, inhale, we can lift the right arm, and then exhale, round the spine and bring the elbow to the left thigh. Good. And then just bring the palms to heart together. And then as you keep flexing the spine, dropping the tailbone and rounding the spine, you're going to press the right elbow down into the thigh as you start to open the heart. And you can think about moving the palms towards the center of the heart. Draw the lower belly in. Keep reaching the heart forward. Good. Deep breaths here. Fully exhale. And start to soften as you come back to the center. Inhale, lift the left arm up. And then as you exhale, round the spine and bring the left elbow to the right thigh. Hands together. And then as you start to open the heart, keep dropping the tailbone. Find deep breaths here as you move the palms towards the center of the heart. Shoulders away from the ears. And the drishti can be up or to the side, wherever it feels natural for the neck. One more breath. As you exhale, soften. and come back to the center. Okay, we're going to do that again, both sides. See if we can activate our foundation a little bit more, and if there's space, move deeper into the twist. So inhale, right arm comes up. And now as you exhale and round the spine, use your left hand to press against the thigh and help you move into the twist. So as you bring your left elbow to the thigh, maybe you keep pressing the left hand against the left thigh to kind of scoot a little bit deeper. Maybe even bringing the middle of the upper arm to the thigh or the shoulder all the way down towards the knee. Wherever you are, you can bring the hands back together. And then a little activation through the legs. Press the tops of the feet down as you keep dropping the tailbone and lifting the heart. Press the tops of the feet down, draw the lower belly in, drop the tailbone, and open the heart. Good. Deep breaths. 4, 5, fully exhale, soften, come back to the center. Good. Yeah, and I feel like that's like gets deeper than you would think. Okay, other side. Inhale, lift the left arm up. Exhale, round the spine. Use the right hand as leverage against the right thigh. And use the breath. Use the exhales as you move into a deeper twist. Maybe that left elbow is coming to the floor. Or maybe it's just staying on the thigh. And now, when you feel a little bit more settled, press the tops of the feet into the mat. Drop the tailbone, draw the lower belly in, and open the heart. Breathing deeply and steadily. Good. 4, 5. Exhale, soften, and gently unwind. Good. Inhale, you're going to lift up or just bring the hands in front, step back into Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, let's shift into a high plank. Exhale, lower down to your stomach. Good. For Shalabhasana. So you can bring the feet together or you can have them a little bit separate with the arms alongside the body, palms facing up. Start to engage the legs so the kneecaps lift and start to reach the toes back. And as you inhale, lift the feet as you lift the heart. Keep the tops of the hands on the mat. Feel the back of the body engaging the lower belly, drawing in as you reach the spine in both directions. 4. You're going to stay up for 5 and switch to B position. Bring the hands next to the rib cage. Good. Keep reaching the toes back. Keep reaching the heart forward. And now see if you can spread the lower back by internally rotating the legs so the inner thighs roll up. Outer thighs roll down. One more breath. And exhale, release. Good. Tuck the toes and you're going to shift up and back into the bottom of the plank on the exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift into a high plank. Exhale, lower down. Good. Let's come into a Sphinx position. You can activate the Sphinx by engaging the legs, pressing the tops of the feet into the mat, and pressing the elbows down and towards you. Good. Feel the front of the body lengthening. The rib cage moving away from the pelvis. Keep pressing the shoulders down. Good, one more breath here. Now we're gonna work towards our Dhanurasana. So you're gonna release the elbows, bend the knees, and reach back with the arms. And now with the palms facing each other, catch the outside of the ankles. And if that's a difficult bind for you, then your Dhanurasana is just this action of lifting the heart and reaching back towards the ankles. If you're catching the ankles, activate the feet into like a point. You could also flex the feet, but if not, you're pointing, which is not pointing and it's not flexing. You're reaching up through the base of the big toes. And then you're going to start to kick the feet and lift the thighs to come into the posture. Good. Keep kicking the feet and keep lifting the thighs away from the ground. As you draw the knees in towards each other, they don't need to touch, and the feet can also be hip width distance apart, or they can be together. Good. Keep kicking for one more breath. And exhale, lower down. Good. We're going to do that little like lift up again. So tuck the toes, hands next to the chest, and you're going to lift up and back as you exhale. Inhale. You can make it kind of bouncy, and it makes it fun. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come to your knees. Good. Yeah, these postures are interesting because they're somewhat accessible, but that doesn't mean they're easy. They're hard. So they're all preparing us to work our way into deeper and deeper back bends. So we're going to do Ustrasana. That's the deepest back bend we'll do before Urdhva Dhanurasana. So take your time with it and find a variation that works for you, depending on, how the spine feels today. So finding up on your knees and, find a way of having the knees that feels good in the sacrum. So you don't want them to be too wide and you don't want them to be too narrow either. So kind of finding that sweet spot. I like to have them just a little bit wider than my hips. Good. And this connection is important. So start to feel the tops of the feet pressing into the mat evenly. Sometimes if there's an asymmetry, it'll show up in the feet because one foot will press more into the ground than the other foot. So right from the beginning, exhale, press both feet into the mat. And as you inhale, shift the hips forward, lengthen the front of the body and lift the heart up. Exhale again, shift the hips forward as you press the feet into the mat. So you can stay here. This can be your Ustrasana. Keep that lift from the pelvis, from Uddiyana Bandha. You can also just interlace the fingers. As you reach the hands down, you lift the heart up. Or you can reach back for the feet, either with the toes tucked or with the toes untucked. Hands to the feet. Keep that length in the front of the body as you press the feet into the mat and you shift the hips forward. Keep lifting from the heart. Good. Stay here. Find your breath. You can either have the chin to your chest or the head back. Good. Deep breaths into the rib cage. Expand the rib cage. Fully exhale. Start to rise up on the inhale. Squeeze the knees in. Strong foundation. Exhale there. Good. And let's take a vinyasa. You can bring the hands down to the mat and jump back or step back into Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, let's jump through to seated. Good. And yeah. Let's do the twisting pose. Sorry, I was debating whether I should do Bakasana, but we'll do Pincha Mayurasana instead for our shoulder work. So Ardha Matsyendrasana, you're going to cross the right foot across over the left leg. And now you can stay here for Ardha Matsyendrasana. It's a twisting pose. Or you can lean over to the left, bend the left leg, and then sit back down so both sit bones are on the floor and the left foot is next to the right hip. Good. And then wherever you are, whether that bottom leg is straight or bent, lean back. Inhale, lift the left arm. Exhale, twist to the right, round the spine. And you can either bring the elbow to the outside of the thigh, or you can slide forward, bringing the shoulder to the outside of the knee. You can either stay here with the left arm bent, or you can reach over towards the foot so that the hand wraps over the right foot and then catches the arch of the right foot. Good, and then maybe wrapping that right arm behind, reaching for the left hip crease. Settle, find the breath. Gazing wherever it feels natural for the neck as a continuation of the twist. But you could also be here. One more breath. And exhale. Release that. Let's come into the other side. So now you're going to cross the left foot over the right leg so that the foot is more or less in line with the right knee. You can stay here or you can bend the right leg. Inhale, reach the right arm up as you lean back a little bit. Exhale as you round the spine, move into the twist and shift forward. Either the elbow coming against the thigh or the shoulder against the knee. For the bind, the right arm reaches over the left foot and catches the arch. And then maybe you can counteract that by rolling the right shoulder down so that the right elbow rolls down the eye of the right elbow. So you don't put like weird pressure on the elbow. Reaching around for the right hip if you'd like, and settle into the breath. You can also just have the fingertips on the floor, supporting the spine. One more breath. And soften out of the twist. Let's take a vinyasa. Cross the shins, inhale, lift up, or roll over the feet. Exhale, step back, jump back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, let's jump through to seated. Come to a seated position. Good. Now we'll work with the hips a little bit. So bend the right knee, let the knee fall out to the side, and then pick up the right foot. You can bring the right foot into your left hand and just kind of rock the shin side to side. If you can go a little bit deeper, you can bring the foot into the elbow crease and again just kind of rock, relaxing the right hip. Good. And then now you're going to bring the shin towards the chest, any amount, as you move the knee away from the shoulder. Keep that bottom leg strong. And now for a moment, let's just pay attention to the torso. Feel the tailbone dropping, the lower belly drawing in, and the heart lifting. So you're not straightening the spine too much, and you're not collapsing the spine. You're somewhere in the middle, and there's a support coming from the pelvis in the core. That's really important as you move deeper and deeper into these forward folds. Now, if you want, you can catch underneath. So you thread this right arm under the shin and catch the outside of the foot. And now you start to bring the foot towards the forehead. Keep lifting the heart. So when you did that, you rounded the spine a lot to try to get the forehead to touch the heel, then that's a bad pathway because that could lead to injury. Keep the heart lifted and just bring the foot towards the forehead any amount as you move the knee away from you. Keep the lower belly drawing in, the heart lifting, and then see if you can soften the shoulder, soften the neck. Good. It doesn't have to be up here, it can be here. One more breath. And exhale. Good. So the idea is here to bring the foot towards you and the knee away from you. So that's going to move us into the external rotation. All right, exhale, release. Maybe let's just do a little counter pose before we do the other side. So bring the fingertips behind you and just lift the heart. Inhale. And exhale. Come back to seated. Good. Other side. Bend the left knee like if you're coming into Janu Shirshasana, and then pick up the foot, and you can hold the foot, hold the knee, just rock. Or bring the foot into the hip crease and just rock. Relax the knee, relax the hip. Good. Check in with the torso. The right leg is strong. Tailbone is dropping. Draw the lower belly and lift the heart. So if that means that the leg stays a little bit lower, that's okay. Good. And then maybe bringing the foot up towards you. So when I do that, I sort of have to kind of like let me turn around, but I have to really emphasize like this action. Sometimes I even like move my sit bone, my left sit bone, forward a little bit. Because that just works for me to get my pelvis in the right position to move deeper into the external rotation. Good. And that left foot, it should be engaged, but not flexed. Yeah? So kind of going to that, active foot position. Maybe more of like a foint that we worked on before. Relax the hip and reach the knee away from the shoulder. Good. 4 and 5. Good. All right, let's take a vinyasa. Cross the shins. This is a good preparatory work for putting the leg behind the head. Exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, come onto your forearms for a forearm plank. Let's hold the forearm plank to prepare the body for a forearm stand. Pincha Mayurasana. So the elbows are underneath the shoulders and the forearms are parallel to each other. You can lower the knees if you need to. And now wherever you are, you're going to press the elbows down and forward so that you round the upper spine, the upper back, and the spine lifts between the shoulder blades. The shoulder blades move away from each other. So all just different ways of saying protract the shoulders. Good. For 3, press the elbows down and forward and reach the heels back. 2. And 1. Come down to your knees and take child's pose for a moment. We're going to do that again. And this time we're going to add on and start to walk the feet towards the elbows. Okay? So I'm going to go back to that forearm plank, hold it for 5 breaths, and then I'll tell you to walk the feet forward and lift the hips up. So if at any moment you need to bend the knees or lower the knees to the floor, that's okay. So find your forearm plank. And if you have a tendency, before we go in, if you have a tendency, which is very common, to slide the hands in towards each other, because maybe there's tightness in the shoulders or there's weakness in the serratus anterior, then it can be helpful to place a block between, what's even better is to place place a block between the hands to stop the hands from moving in. But what could be even better is placing a block between the elbows and using the block as a reference to squeeze into. So you're doing the work. You're not like bringing a prop in to do the work for you. You're bringing a prop in to remind you to move in a certain direction. So placing a block between the elbows and you think squeeze the block with your elbows. Yeah? Okay. So come back, forms parallel to each other. Step the feet back into a plank position. You can lower the knees if you need to. Spread the fingers, and then you're going to squeeze the knees, the elbows in a little bit, press them down, and press them forward. Good. As you reach the heels back and tone the lower belly. So you're rotating the pelvis under, reaching the sit bones towards the heels. For 3 deep breaths. 2. 1. Now you're going to start to walk the feet towards the elbows as close as you can and hold it. So the shoulders are coming over the elbows, the hips are coming over the shoulders, pressing the elbows down and forward. For 3, 2, relax the neck, gazing between the forearms, and 1 more breath. Good. Bring the knees down. Let's come into a puppy pose here. So I like to do puppy pose with the elbows bent. You can go ahead and do them with the arms straight, palms together, and bring the forehead to the floor. And the hands, the palms back towards between the shoulder blades. You could also do this with the elbows on blocks. So that you're sinking the heart and the armpits towards the floor. You can also bring the chin down if you're a little bit more open. And sometimes I like to separate the palms and just keep the fingertips together. And that'll deepen the external rotation in the shoulders. Good. For 3. 2. 1. Good. Gently coming out. And we're going to do that one more time. The plank, the walking the feet, and the puppy pose. One more time. Because that's a really good series of postures to help with the inversion of forearm stand, Pincha Mayurasana. So find your forearm plank. Step back. Set up the forearms. Good. And then feel the elbows squeezing in, pressing down, and pressing forward to protract the shoulders, round the upper back, and then reach back through the heels to tone the lower belly. Good. Deep breaths for 3, 2, 1. Walk the feet in as close as you can, and then maybe even coming onto your tippy toes this time. Good. Pressing the elbows down and forward. Engage, stabilize the shoulders, gazing between the forearms. For 3. Deep breaths. 2. If you're shaking a little bit, that's okay. I'm kind of shaking. And 1. Exhale, come down and find your puppy pose. One more breath. Good. Gently come out of that. All right. Now let's give Pincha a try. if you want. It's optional, of course. But if you know what you're doing, go ahead, try your pincha. If you want to stay with me, I'll talk you through a nice entry that's a bit more accessible. And you can set up with the block in the same way between the elbows. And you can think about squeezing the elbows towards the block. And you want the block, and I should have specified this before, the long ways. Yeah? Because if it's a short way, then it'll be too narrow. Yeah, you want it to be like the long way between the elbows. Okay. Find your forearm stand. Walk the feet like we were doing before, gazing between the forearms. And then you're going to pick one leg up. It doesn't matter, any leg. And then again, press the elbows down and forward. And you can use that bottom leg, bend the bottom leg, and you can just kick up just a little bit. So it leaves the floor even just a little bit. Good. Just a little bit, going up and down, just getting used to that. If the shoulders get tired, take a break. And you want to keep pressing the elbows down and forward so that the face stays away from the floor and the face doesn't hit the floor. Yeah, if your face is coming really close to the floor, then you just need to stabilize the shoulders a bit more. And that action of pressing the elbows down and forward is the key. Yeah, so just keep working on that endurance and that strength. If you find a little bit of air time, maybe you bend that bottom leg. And that feels safe because you're not going to fall over if this thigh stays close to the chest. So this is kind of a nice way to ease into it. Keep that bottom leg, thigh, towards the chest and just lift the foot. Yeah, that'll keep most of the weight on this side so that you don't feel like you're going to fall over, because oftentimes that's what the fear comes from. So you just keep the first leg straight up and the bottom leg, keep the thigh to your chest. So you're doing like that thunderbolt shape. And again, any side. And then maybe eventually you feel comfortable here and you can straighten the leg. And you're gazing between the forearms the whole time, pressing the elbows down and forward. Eventually, maybe you start with the banana shape. Eventually, you start to move the gaze back towards the elbows as you press the elbows down and forward and you straighten out. It's difficult to find that straight line because that narrows your center of gravity. But that's just a refinement over time, so you don't have to worry about finding a perfect straight line from the beginning. At first, you're just getting comfortable being upside down and finding the balance. So if you're in a banana shape at first, that's okay. There's no harm in being in a little bit of a back bend here. But then eventually work on engaging the front of the body. It's that hollow body strength to take the back bend out and find the straight line. So this forearm plank we did is really good for feeling that front body strength to come out of the back bend. So I see some of you still trying. Keep trying, and I'll just keep talking. Hopefully something is helpful. So I'll do that one more time. You can start here. Use the breath. It's so helpful in these challenging postures. Pressing the elbows down and forward. Maybe you find your balance. Maybe you find some balance in a banana shape. And then eventually, you're going to start to move the gaze back towards the elbows. Doesn't have to be in between the elbows, just in that direction. As you press the elbows down and forward, engage the front of the body. Find the straight line. It's so hard to talk. I'm doing this. Okay. All right. So good. I see some really solid attempts. And really, like, even once you find that balance and you're upside down, press the elbows down and forward again. And then it gives you this like lift and stability that at first might feel a little bit like ungrounded. But when you find the center line, it's like you feel grounded and lifted at the same time. It's really nice. Okay, let's take a vinyasa. Yes, let's take a vinyasa. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, let's jump through to seated. And exhale, let's lie down on our backs. Bending the knees and planting the feet. We'll move through some back bends. So first, just talking you through bridge pose. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, as you press the back, lower back onto the floor, reach the tailbone forward and the knees forward. And as you inhale, press through the feet and lift the pelvis up. As you press the top of the head into the mat, you're reaching the heart towards the chin. You can either have the hands on the ankles or the fingers interlaced, slightly shrugging the shoulders. Good, keep lifting the pelvis, lifting the sacrum. And you keep reaching the knees forward to lengthen the front of the body. One more breath. Good, releasing the hands, spreading the shoulders. As you exhale, roll down the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Good, inhale. Exhale again, reach the tailbone forward and the knees forward, this time with the option to bring the hands next to the ears and move up into Urdhva Dhanurasana. Maybe the arms are still a little bit bent. Maybe they're straight with a micro bend. If you want, you can turn the hands out at a diagonal away from each other. So you can really spread the shoulder blades, spread the upper back, lifting the sacrum to lengthen the front of the body. Good. One more breath here. As you come down, tuck the chin so the back of the head touches the floor and you keep rolling down the spine all the way to the sacrum. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, reach the tailbone forward and the knees forward. Inhale into bridge pose or full wheel pose. The option to maybe walk the hands in. Good. Feel the length through the front of the body. Steady breaths. One more. When you're ready, you can stand up or roll back down to the floor. Good. And from here, we'll release the back bend so you can hug the knees. Or you can rock up. Or do Chakrasana. Backward roll. Inhale. Catch the feet or bring the fingertips to the floor. Lift the heart. Exhale. Fold. Just a few more breaths, releasing the spine. Inhale, look up. And exhale, release. Let's take a vinyasa. Cross the shins, lift up or roll over the ankles. Exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Come to your knees. And since we prepared the shoulders so much and we already started getting used to going upside down, let's do headstand. And so that same action of pressing the elbows down and forward, super important. So before you put the head on the floor, interlace the fingers. Bring the elbows so they're shoulder width apart. And so you're going to place the forearms on the floor. Good. Still haven't placed the head on the floor. Then you're going to tuck the toes, lift the knees, and as you do that, press the elbows down and forward. Good. Walk the feet in, and then finally tuck the chin and place the top of the head on the floor in the middle of that triangle, but keep pressing the elbows down and forward. Good. You can stay here with the knees bent, or you can start to shift the hips over the shoulders or in that direction. And then maybe you bring one foot towards the glute and you can hold it here. Keeping the knee squeezing into the chest. Do a few breaths there, and then you can switch sides. Top of the head is on the mat, not the front of the head, not the back of the head. Good. Maybe you bring both feet up and work your way into a straight line. Take your time. You could always do that variation where the one foot is on the floor or even both feet are on the floor. That's a really good way to work on building the strength. If you are finding the straight line, see if you can bring the feet over the hips. Oftentimes we get scared and we keep the feet up here, but then you're just working harder than you need to. Find that center line. And if you're scared of falling back, you can try flexing the feet and reaching up through the heels. That'll help you to engage the front of the body so you find that hollow body strength and you don't go into the back bend. You could also have a wall right behind you and bend the knee to tap the wall instead of going into a back bend to touch the wall. Try to avoid that. If you really need to have the wall behind you, bend one knee so you can use the wall as support. Good. A few more breaths. If you want, you can take the last few breaths in a pike position. Good. 3, 2, 1. Wherever you are, slowly making your way to child's pose. Don't come up. Bring the knees together so that the neck can release. And if you'd like, you can bring the arms alongside the body. I like to have the palms facing up to really release the shoulders and the neck. Good. Exhale into Chaturanga, bottom of the plank. Let's take a vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come to a seated position. So you can find a comfortable seat. If you'd like, you can take full lotus, or you can take one leg in lotus and the other leg tucked underneath. Do the last 3 postures. Wrapping the arms behind. You can grab onto opposite forms, or you can grab onto the toes. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, fold forward. chin or forehead to the floor or to a block. Settling into the breath. Following the breath through the inhale and through the exhale. One more here. Fully exhale. Empty your breath. Begin to rise up. Inhale. As you bring the shoulders over the hips, release the arms and bring the wrist towards the knee and the pointer to the thumb, the tips of the fingers touching. And then as you feel the sit bones sink into the mat, the tailbone gently dropping towards the ground, feel the heart lifting, the shoulders relaxing as you gently bring the chin towards the chest. And just finding a way of holding the torso so you can find that straight spine with as little effort as possible. So aligning the rib cage, feeling the rib cage floating over the pelvis and the skull floating above the rib cage. So taking a moment to feel into that internal sense of alignment. And as you continue with the Ujjayi breath to tone in the vocal cords, feel the lift of Uddiyana Bandha just above the pubic bone, moving in and up, lifting the pelvic floor like you're lifting the belly out of the pelvis. So you have that lift and support from the ground, but not sucking in the whole belly so that you're constricting the movement of the diaphragm. Allow the upper belly to be soft. Allow the rib cage to expand out in all directions. The lower ribs in the front, which is the upper belly, and the lower ribs in the back. Feel the expansion as you inhale and as you keep that lift from the base of the pelvis. Smooth, steady breaths in and out through the nose. And bringing your attention to the space between the inhales and the exhales. Notice the natural pause without strain, without forcing the breath, without holding the breath. Just allow the pause to be natural before the inhale becomes the exhale and before the exhale becomes the inhale. Just a couple more breaths at your own pace. Keep following the breath with a sense of curiosity, without judgment, without assessment. Am I breathing right? Am I breathing wrong? Just noticing. That's the practice. Finishing this next exhale. Completely exhale. And we'll end with Uputihi, everybody's favorite pose. Bring the hands to the floor in front of the hips. You can stay in lotus or just cross the shins. Pitch the shoulders forward, but keep the heart open and the chin lifted a little bit. Inhale, lift the hips. 1. Keep pressing to the shoulders. 2, 3. Keep breathing. 4. Deep breaths. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Exhale, lower down. Good. We'll take one final vinyasa. Inhale. Exhale, jump back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, let's jump through to seated. Exhale, lie down for Shavasana, final resting pose. Allow the feet to move apart, the arms to move away from the body, palms facing up. Completely relaxing. Feeling the backside of the body being supported by the earth. So feel all those points of contact that the backside is making with the mat or the ground. You can imagine the earth just moving up to hold the body so that the body can just passively rest and surrender into that support. Releasing the tension behind the eyes. Releasing the tension in the throat. Releasing the breath. Releasing technique. Releasing assessment. Settling into this wide open space of awareness. If you're ready to move out, you can deepen the breath and make small movements with the body. And bringing the arms over your head for a deep breath in. As you exhale, you can bend the knees and plant the feet, rolling over to either side. And slowly making your way to a seated position. Find a comfortable seat with the eyes either closed or half open, gazing downward on the floor somewhere in front of you. Settling. Settling the sit bones down into the earth. And settling the mind into the heart. The spaciousness there. Feeling the residue. Bringing the palms to Anjali Mudra. Swasti prajabhyaha padipalayantan nyayena margena mahim mahishaha go brahmanebhyaha shubhamastu nityam lokha samasta sukhino bhavantu. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you, everyone.